What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my third edition of the podcast. My two podcasts have been deleted, and I'm gonna explain to you the reason why. Uh, there was some issues on my channel, so that's why I had to delete those two podcasts that I made, and yeah, but my third edition won't be erased. Uh, all I'm telling you is I had a problem, so that's why I needed to erase those two podcasts of mine. That's part of the reason why. But but I'm gonna tell you why exactly I had to erase my videos, my two podcasts before I get things started. So it was another issue with YouTube. It has not been a good startup for me. I've been having YouTube issues left and right. So part of the reason why my two videos about the podcast is my two podcast videos have been deleted. It's YouTube issues once again. But anyway, let's get rolling with the podcast. So, as you probably heard, on June 12th, 2014, a ton of superstars, and I hate the word superstars, wrestlers have been released from the WWE. And I looked into this more just to get this week's edition of the podcast ready and get this podcast something to talk about on this podcast. So I'm gonna go into it a little bit deeper. So part of the reason is Daniel Bryan being injured. That's why they released that. That's why they released a ton of general managers, a ton of superstars, guys like Drew McIntyre, guys like Teddy Long. Um, let's face it, Teddy Long needed to be released a long time ago. I forgot this guy was even still around the place. But Drew McIntyre and stuff like that have been all released. Ton of ton of superstar, and all of that is because Daniel Bryan is injured, and they want Brock Lesnar to come back sooner. That's from what I heard. That's from what I read. Keep in mind, that's a rumor. Nothing has been clear yet. But that's what I heard on the rumor. So all of this to all all of this because of Daniel Bryan. And because Daniel Bryan is injured, they want Brock Lesnar to come back. And for Brock Lesnar to come back, they needed more money to give Brock Lesnar, because Brock Lesnar just wasn't gonna come back. Just wasn't gonna come back with with the amount of money that he was gonna be given, and so they had to give WWE had to give him more money just for him to come back, because he's not gonna come back at the same price. If they want him to come back sooner, they have to give him more money. So, in my opinion, I think that's why WWE released so many superstars from WWE. Now, I'm gonna give my clear opinion on this. They were all jobbers, in my opinion, as far as the general managers. We don't need jobbers. Basically, let me explain to you what they were. They were just trash. They didn't have nothing to do. They were basically stuck at stuck in the same stuck in the same at the same point. So we knew at some point they were gonna get released. So no surprise there. We knew guys like JTG, who I haven't seen in I don't know how long. Guys like JTG who were stuck in the same position needed to be released because they were just stuck in the same position. JTG is a no good piece of shit who can't work. He was relevant in, like I said, 2009, 2010. He was relevant back then. Now he was just garbage, and they needed to release him. Nobody gives a shit about JTG anymore, so he needed to be released. That way, it clears up a spot for wrestlers, for legends to come back like Brock Lesnar. And they want The Rock to come back. They want The Rock and Brock Lesnar to come back. So they had to release uh, a, a super a jobber, and that's what they did. Jobbers, and that's what they did. Also, they need to release that worthless piece of shit, the fuckboy buckethead John Cena. They need to release him so bad. He's getting on my freaking nerves, man. This no good piece of shit who can bump for 2 cents is still in the company. Still in the fucking company. That's how fucked up the company is, really. Yeah, but I doubt they will release their main fuckboy buckethead anytime soon. John Cena needs to go to the Hall of Fame, and when he goes to the Hall of Fame, people will forget him like the no good piece of trash that he is. People will forget him sooner than you can count to 10. Because he's a no good piece of trash. I don't give a shit about the C Nation. I don't give a shit about his stupid retarded ass fans. This fuckery that's been going on in the WWE for the past 9 years with this fuckboy Buckethead needs to stop, man, because it's just getting on my nerves. Um, but yeah, uh, that's about that will about conclude the episode for my podcast. These kind of podcasts happen every single Thursday. This is the first one. This is the first podcast on Google Plus. I know my two podcasts got deleted because of YouTube issues, but this is the third episode. This is the third episode of the podcast. And if you want to tune in. If you like this kind of stuff, if you like what wrestling, you should tune in, and I will see you all later.